Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, I am about to interview one of my clients who is a travel nurse, and we're going to talk through, what it is that she's experienced, her life as a travel nurse, her life as working with me for going on a year. So she's going to hop on soon. Listen, guys, when I tell you guys that I have the best money plans, the best programs out there. It is one of the things where it is making a difference, okay? No one out there is paying off debt faster than me, okay? No one is managing expenses like I am. I created a very unique program for people to be able to pay off debt quickly. And with that, there's also the mindset work. There's also, helping people be able to, move away from money challenges, why they feel like they cannot have more. So, my program is all about it. And one of the best things about my program is it's connecting people to faith. So faith in God, faith in knowing that God has your back, faith in knowing that God wants you to be abundant, faith in God in all ways. Okay. So that is one of the things that we are going to talk about. So I'm just going to wait for her to hop on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I'll make sure to save this video so you guys do not miss it in case you hopped on late. Okay. All right, so we're going to wait for her to come on and okay, so she'll be on in a second. Let me see if I can invite her. Okay, just wait for her to join. Hey, morning, Abina. I'm going to be interviewing. Hey, Tiana, here she is. Interviewing one of my clients. Tiana, I sent you a invite, or you can click at the bottom of the screen where it says to join. Or maybe it's in the comment section where it says join live. Here we go. Accepted. That's where Instagram be playing around with these features. All right. It says you accepted. And it says now you're unable to join. All right, guys. There we go. Hey. Good morning.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm up in my little loft area. Best lighting. How are you?
Okay,
Can you
great.
know?
I can see you. Okay.
It's on my cell phone, so I'm trying to figure out how I can get this.
All right, wipe the camera real quick to make sure it's not blurry.
Yeah, I think it might be here. Hold on one second.
So the people can see you. So the people can
Let me
see you.
see, girl.
There we
Here.
go.
Oh,
Woo!
girl.
Wow.
Whoa, look.
Yes.
Oh, girl. That show you I don't use my camera. That shows you I don't use my camera. You're like, turn that on. Oh, girl, that's a whole different image. Okay. I had to go take some pictures now. Hold
Yeah,
on.
you looking cute, cute. You looking cute, cute too. All right, so I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So you're a travel nurse. You've been my client. I'm gonna hit you with how long we've been working, like when our anniversary. I was like, oh, we have an anniversary coming up.
It's like next month. It's no.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. When I had taken actually the same assignment that I'm still currently on, I'll be ending it that same week too, which is it'll be my year anniversary there and my year working with you. So yeah, a year.
You remember when you started? How many contracts did you have when you started with me?
Like as far as I had, well, I was actually working another assignment, and then I was working PRN at one hospital. I had just given up another, so I was working three jobs, and then I'm in the reserves also. So three jobs.
Yes, and the reserves.
Working at one time. So now I'm down to my one contract job and just the reserves now. I don't.
And I remember when we started working together, you was like ready to like quit, like fire everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I was over it. I was over it. But it's good. It's good now. Everything is good now.
Yes. All right. So, first question I have for you is what made you go into the nursing career?
That's a question I get all the time. I'll be honest with you, it just kind of happened naturally. It was something that I was in another field prior in healthcare, and it was just natural transition. Not to say it was a passion from a child. I really didn't know what nursing was, but it's
Mm,
worked for me. It's made a living for me and my son. Flexible, difficult, especially the last year and a half, but I can't complain. I can't complain. It's allowed me a lot of benefits to be able to be there with my son and also take care of others. But I don't know what's next. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what's next.
So, how long have you been a nurse?
Right at 5 years.
5 years. Now, when you say you was in the healthcare field before, what were you doing before
I was,
nursing?
I was a respiratory therapist for 8 years.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Office hospital.
What a transition.
I know. I, what was that transition about? I said, oh, I don't know. I just want to be more involved in the patient. I wanted more work.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's all good. I can't.
Yes.
It was a good foundation for a good future.
Yes, absolutely. So when you transition, okay, so tell me what are the best and challenging things about being a travel nurse?
Um, as far as the best things, really, to be honest, is the pay. The pay is what keeps people traveling. But the hardest is that you have to actually be strong in your skills because you are thrown out there. You don't get coddled. You don't get cared for as if you're a staff nurse. You're just kind of out there. You're a contractor, so you'll get the worst of the worst. You'll get floated first. You'll get canceled. You get a lot more. You're just kind of like the extra help, right? So that's pretty much the challenge. But end of the day, I always say my check clears every Friday. So
Amen to that. And we see it and we allocate it. Yes, we do.
I'm trying to get to a point where I don't have to work all the time anymore. So
Yes.
get some time at home, more time.
Yes. Good morning, guys. So, all right. So let's see. So our 1 year anniversary working together is on November 20th.
Okay.
And when I just saw that, I got so excited because I knew we were like working together for a year, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like to know that like we're gonna do something for our anniversary. Okay. We're gonna
Okay.
celebrate it in some kind of way.
Okay.
But you have made such great progress. And one of the things I want to commend you on is regardless of how busy you have been in your travel, with your child, with life going on, you have always stuck to your money plan from day one.
It's been hard. We've had a couple bumps, but we always get it back.
We
A couple
always bounce back. All
bumps,
and very small bugs. Yes.
a
Uh,
little eating out sometimes, but we get
I usually try to leave you with a little something.
hard. The eating is hard. I think everyone can agree that eating is hard. It's like to balance it as far as, prepping and scheduling when you're trying to get here and there. And I go 2 hours one way to work. So sometimes it's like, look, if I'm going to eat, I got to get something on the road. So that, yeah. But,
Yeah. And I did a video on eating yesterday about telling people like, the ways to manage meal prepping or meal planning and how important it is to kind of plan ahead. So
yeah.
when you go into the store, you're not just putting everything in the cart, shopping, just coming home with things that you don't need.
Yeah.
Because remember when we started, I had you do that. You had to
Yeah.
go through your pantry, your refrigerator,
You know,
and
yeah. Because
shop.
you have things in there. You have noodles. Like I know at one point I've had like 6 or 7 boxes of spaghetti noodles, and every time I go to the store, I buy spaghetti noodles. But you just packing them further back, and I mean those don't go bad quickly.
Right.
Yeah,
Money, yeah, money that you don't need to spend. So that's one of the things that, I was saying yesterday in the video, just telling people like you have money sitting in your pantry, in your fridge, in your freezer, especially that freezer. That freezer will suck
yeah,
up some things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
So what is the most challenging thing about being a travel nurse?
Leaving my baby, leave,
Mm,
and that's why I do more local. But I am, not present with him 3 or 4 days a week. And like we talked about that. That's why I'm getting ready to come closer to home next month, just because it's a point where you have to organize transportation, childcare, etc. Prior meals, etc. School homework, tutoring, practice, and it's like, am I coming or going? It's like it's more work to leave them, but at the end of the day, it was a sacrifice I had to make to get to where I am today. So I can actually breathe now where we're at, and so I know I can come home and still work, of course, but just not have to leave and be gone for
right,
it.
right, right. And having to work super hard at more hours where you're not home.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the reasons why I kind of created this program to help remove the burden of the financial
Yeah.
piece, because you have all those things dealing with your son, your job, being having to plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And with the money plans, you kind of already know what I'm going to give you. And
Yeah.
all you have to do is just execute.
Yeah. It's one less major experience. Like, cause I know I used to be every day, okay, this, and that. And it's one less thing that's kind of written out there. It's just kind of like, I think it was just like everything else you kind of, ration for. Like, you go to the gym, you have a trainer. You just, you go to school, you have your teacher. So you have different people that are actually giving you the plan and, the blueprint to do right. And that's how I treat it. Like, that's kind of how I treat it. One less thing for me to worry about.
Yes.
Because I got enough in my head. I got enough in my head. So.
Yes, yes. All right. So when we first started, so tell me, what was your hesitations that you had about having someone, in your personal finances?
Because I'm a spender and I like to do what I want to do with my money, and I don't want to tell
Mm,
me what to do with my money. But then I also know too why, as I was in that place, that when I first joined you and we talked about what, pretty much I wasn't in a good place financially either, because I did what I did, and I don't think I had a true idea as far as where my money was going and what I was doing. I had enough money to pay my bills, but at the end of the day, it's like, why are you still in debt and why are you still broke? Why can't you make it to the next check? Like, where are you doing with your money? And so just kind of having that, that honest look at yourself, just like, okay, this is what you're doing. Mm-hmm.
right, right. Because that's one of the things too. It's like, you make all this money and you're like, why do I still feel broke?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember what you used to say to me before working with me? There was one thing you will always say, that you would rather be
Well,
what?
let somebody see me naked, but then see my finances.
Yes.
A stranger. Why do you remember that? But it's the truth.
Because you used to say that all the time. You're like, I would rather let a
My
stranger see me naked than to let you see my finances.
finances were a mess. I'm like, I'd rather a stranger see that than it, because like when you think about when you're trying to qualify for things, yes, on paper I had what they call a good credit score, but my debt to income ratio was like, well, what are you doing? Like, how are you surviving? So yeah, no.
Yeah, that always stuck with me, because in my head, I'm like, it's not that bad, because for me, I'm analytical. So the numbers are the numbers. I don't care about what your total debt is. I just know that I'm gonna remove it. Like, that's just all it is for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that always stuck out with me. And ain't nobody see you naked, girl, yet, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no stranger see you naked. Let's just say that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I said, there has not been a stranger that have seen you
Not a
naked.
stranger. Not a stranger. Not a
Right, not a stranger, not a stranger. All right, so I'm looking in
stranger.
your file,
Okay.
right? And I'm seeing that we paid off a credit card like within the first session.
Okay. Yeah.
We've paid, that was like, one, and this actually is one of the things that happens with majority of my clients, is that
The
we're
money,
paying off things
money
immediately.
that you don't know how to allocate it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that was one of the things I was like, oh wow, we actually paid off a credit card like from day one. And I remember one of my other clients, she was like, we're moving too fast. I was like, no, we're not.
No, it's scary because they're like, wait a second, like it's yeah, it gets scary. Yeah, because you can see the light, but at the same time, it's like, wait a second, how, what am I, you know, this gonna happen? Is this really gonna happen? So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And here we are. So let's see. How do you feel after, like, now? Like, how have my money plans changed your life?
I feel more relieved. I mean, because you look at how much we've paid off in the last year. I can actually breathe now. Like we talked about the other night, as far as what my monthly expenses were, before to what they are now. It's almost like I'm not over my head anymore. I'm at a point where, I can, it's not going to take a whole 4 weeks of work to pay off my monthly bills. Really in about a week we can pay off my bills, and I have money to save, to, invest, and to, to further pay off debt. So yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And, one of the things, I think you have paid off $70,000, going not even a year yet. And with
And I've
you,
got my first car. I've never paid off a car. I had a car
yes,
at 19 years old. So I've
yeah,
had a car for, yeah, about 17, 18 years. And so 17 years. So that's the first time I've ever paid off a car. So that was a blessing.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That was the first time you really celebrated.
Yes. Yes. Because I've paid off credit cards before and they just ran them back up. It's happened. But, now I'm kind of like, oh, I don't need them because, like what we're talking about, the things I'm doing now, I can, okay, you have a savings account allocated and you don't have to use the credit. So that's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right. So let's see. What are your thoughts? Like with you just paid off a major loan, another major loan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, my student loan. Yeah.
yeah,
I've had that loan since 2007. 2007. Yeah, that loan is it was scheduled to be, and it makes me happy to think about it. It was scheduled to be paid off 2029.
Wow.
October 2029. So I still had 8 more years on it. And we hit that. I mean, that was the hardest for me to pay off, I'll be honest with you. And I think we have one more debt left. And I just think student loans as a whole have been a harder thing for me to pay off just because it's kind of like,
go ahead and say
it. I should have paid for my education. But anyway, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? I feel as if, can we, they took advantage of us. I think about when they gave us that money, in the early, I guess it was like 2008, 2009, 2010. They gave us that money like it was candy. And now it's like, okay, pay it back, but not pay back what you took, pay back triple what you took. And not reasonable because like I tell people, that loan was probably about $20,000 what I took out ultimately with Sally Mae. And ultimately I ended up paying, well over $50,000 with the interest in that loan over the 14-year period.
Right. And
So
we knocked that out in.
We knocked that out in like maybe 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I can't.
I want to say the student loan, we knocked out the car, I think, in like 3 months, and I think we knocked out the loan in about 5 to 6.
Yeah, because we were trying to allocate some savings too, because I could not give them that as what I was doing for the car. It just was like, let me at least have a stronger safety net, at least to have 6 months of savings, just because things happen. So
yes, absolutely. And one thing about when you start with me, one of my goals is to make sure that my clients don't feel restricted, right? So I always gave you fun money and self-care money to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because a budget is not, you're not meant to be restricted.
Yeah, because it's hard when I know some people, I call it cold turkey, where they don't spend anything, but to me, as hard as you work, you got to have your outlet. So I still want to do, my hair, my nails. I mean, I'm not going to go out and, do them every week, but, at least every 3, I don't even know, nails every, 3 weeks, hair at least once a month professionally. I should be able to do that because I go to work. Some people can't, but, that was my saving grace that, okay, I still have money to do for Tiana and not feel like Tiana's just letting, everyone else take all the money. And then at the end of the day, I'm sitting here miserable, looking crazy, hair, nails, just looking a mess.
Yeah. I'm a very strong believer in, as you are getting out of debt, as you are budgeting, you still need a little money for you because you are working hard.
Yes. Budget for your care. Cause at the end of the day, it's like to pay them and you don't feel good. It's not a good place. So. Yeah.
Yes. I do have a client who struggled with that. One of my male clients, he, struggles with doing something for himself. So I'm always like, hey, I'm giving you, and he just started with me in September, but I'm always like, hey, here's your self-care money. And he's just like, what am I going to do with it? I was like, go and get a massage, because he's always thinking about doing for others. So it's hard for him to think about doing for himself.
No. Like we talked about, I don't feel like I want more self-care money.
You about to get it. I'm about to allocate a little bit more for you. Yes.
At the end of the day, we take care of everybody else. You gotta take care of yourself.
Yes, especially as doing the travel nursing in the times of COVID.
Yeah, I'll be looking crazy if I don't do something for myself. Crazy. I already feel lost.
All right. What are your goals as we are moving forward, working together?
Going forward, we got that one last debt, that one last government federal loan. Them bastards. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest with them bastards. Get them, but that will be it. That will be it. That pay off that final loan. I want to, in the process of transitioning this to save right now for that down payment so that the home that I'm in now can be used as my income property. Because I bought this home at a very good time in 2012 when, the market was down. So it's an income property for me.
Right.
Continuing to try to max out my retirement for the future, because I can tell you, nursing's been good to me, but it's not a field I can do 30 more years. Physically, I can't do it 30 more years. And I still got, at this rate, 30 more years in the workforce, right? If you were to go to 60, whatever, 64, 65, 60, whatever.
We ain't doing that.
Physically, I'm not doing that. Mentally, I'm not doing that. And then also too, to get saving for my son's what is it? College, I guess. Or college, yeah. So pretty much building a savings that, I can. And then one thing too, Terry, I'll tell you too, there's one thing you didn't bring up is that even when we were saving, you gave saving options so that you didn't feel like you were just saying, how you save and you save only for a rainy day. No, we have savings for Christmas. So I have my Christmas fund pretty much done. We have a savings for vacation. Even though I have a vacation, I will be using it in January for my birthday. So we have this, we have those, and we have like the car maintenance. So we created that bucket account on the Ally where it gives us so I don't feel guilty. So like now I'm getting ready to go to the store and get some stuff. It's for the home maintenance, so it's allocated. So
yes, always, that's the one thing, and it's hard for someone like you who has a busy schedule. You have a son to take care of, to make sure that he's getting to the places that he needs to get to, food to think about when you're not home. Like, we have to plan ahead. Like, it's literally the only way for you to stay on top.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts or suggestions for anyone thinking about working with me?
You just got to do it. Because if you're going to sit there and hesitate, because I think we talked about it maybe we didn't talk that long, maybe a month or two. I kind of, I knew what you were doing, but I was like, I don't know. It's just like, well, you got to just, you just got to go for it. Because at the end of the day, you can hesitate and, there's, I know you offer different things that you can do that can fit certain people, what their needs are. Everyone might not need, some people may need more help, some people may need less help. So it's to fit their needs and their goals and figure out, and then just be honest with yourself. Like, I think when we were talking about breaking down how much you made and how much you spent, I think I was probably off by how much I thought my monthly bills were, probably about $2,000 a month, because I wasn't allocating trash and pest control and groceries. I was just winging it. Versus, actually writing it down and be like, okay, this is a plan. And things like the grocery pickup, like Kroger's, Walmart, that are free, those have helped me too, because those have, I know I'm an impulsive shopper. That's how I've always been. Everyone has their thing. Some people drink, some people smoke. I shop. And I mean, let's be honest with you, that's my thing. I got a rush out of swiping the card, whether it was my money or not. And at the end of the day, then I would have, like, I don't want to say buyer's remorse, but I would. And a lot of things, like, if you would have just thought that through, and I can't say buyer's remorse in the last year. Everything I've bought, I had to think about it. So if I bought it, I wanted it and I needed it, and it was allocated. So that's it.
Right. And then too, it's not just the money plan. Like, yes, money plans is what, is one of the focuses.
Yes, the homework too, trying to figure out, I got to do my homework for this week, because why am I an emotional spender? It's just something that voids that you found things to fill. So, if this wasn't going right in your life, well, if I buy these pair of shoes, and just trying to figure out other ways to fill those voids versus, material things. At the end of the day, I got a ton of material things around me and they can't do nothing for me. I got to find some place to put them, So.
Yeah. And that's one of the things too, like when you are like coming out of it, and is you realize like you don't value certain things like you used to.
Yes. And that's a gratitude piece too. You realize the things that I want my time back. I want my time back. They say reclaiming my time. I want my time back, because literally my time, I've spent more time working to provide for material things than I have been with my child. And that's honestly not true. And I don't like that. So while I got him, before he, fully leaves me, because he turned into a teenager and he's acting like it, I'm invest that time, because Lord knows.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the things about what financial freedom can give you is that time back. Yes. And even with time, remember we talked about, paying someone to do the things that is taking time away.
Not feeling guilty about it, okay? And that started with the groceries, and then it started with having, and I hate to sound like that, meal prep, someone to clean, and it's because I put in the extra time to get those things done, because the time it takes me overwhelms me and gives me anxiety. having someone to help me with the pickup and drop off to practice and tutoring, and not feeling guilty about it. Like I was talking to one of my girlfriends, I'm not gonna mom shame myself because I'm doing work with two people in one household, which is fine. But if I have to do the financial portion by myself, then at least I can get help with other pieces. And so that's what I do, and I don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, I love that you say not to mom shame yourself. That is,
But because I will, if I think I can manage every meal, every cleaning, every practice, every game, then we're not gonna eat every day. Like that's a stay-at-home mom, and I mean, some women can do it, but I can't, and I know I can't at the same time because I still got to have my time to be like, okay, we're gonna go get our nails done, we're gonna go get our hair done, like we talked about. We're just gonna find things for me. I'm gonna go to the gym. I can't do all that if I'm doing all of that. I can't.
yeah, yeah. And then your salt therapy baths. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
yeah. The salt therapy was good. And I don't want to sound like it's a lot of stuff, extra stuff, but I feel like I'm okay. Like we talked about doing one thing for myself a month, whether that's to get, you know, a massage, a facial, something, because you work so hard. What are you paying yourself with?
Right. Tell everyone what is the salt therapy, because you're the one who put me onto it.
Okay. So the salt therapy is like they have one I can make done up, but pretty much it's a couple things, and that's something else I'm gonna talk to you about later on off the camera too. But salt therapy pretty much is like it's almost like Epsom salt bath, but pretty much it does the work of like, I guess you'd have to go into it, but it's almost like when you get into this water, something like laying like maybe in the Dead Sea, so much salt that you can't sink. And it's like what Epsom salt does, helps to relieve a lot of the muscle, the aches, the pain. Almost as like the work of a massage. It's an experience because you have to actually be comfortable being with yourself in a warm area. Dark for an hour, but it allows you some time to meditate, sometimes just being by yourself. Yeah. And I need to get back to it, but it's the hair is our issue with that salt therapy. You got to make sure you
right.
You got to go between hairstyles because it is something that you have to get that salt out. But for men, it's easier. For women that are natural and they can wash and go, it's
right.
I mean, if I'm gonna stay at the gym, I went to the gym this week, girl. I went back to the gym.
Yes. Okay.
Stay in the gym, like I said, I was gonna get back into it. I can't do that every week, but that's a good monthly thing. So yeah. So there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do my own facials. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. It's just your care. So.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tiana. Before we wrap this up, tell me, how has my program helped change your faith?
Okay. I can honestly say prior to starting this, and it's probably because of the amount of debt too, money was always on my mind. Okay, I got to go do this. Now, I mean, money is still important, don't get me wrong, but it's not so much, okay, do I have enough money to get to the grocery store? And I mean, it was time, like I'm a grown woman, I can also say it's sitting there like, okay, I got to write this registration fee, but is this going to, like, I can also say the finances is like a second thought now. And I mean, it's still a first thought because I got to be mindful of it, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what?
I'll just tell Terry.
Terry got that. So I got this, and that. Let's make it happen. What do I have to do to make it happen? And as much as I don't want to go tonight, I tell you I'm going to call off tonight. I'm going to go ahead and go in there tonight.
Because we got things to do, Tiana.
Try to give me, do.
So yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, wait, so the faith part, did you ask? So
the faith, yes. The faith. Knowing God got it. He's in control. At the end of the day, I give it to him. It's nothing that I can only do what I can do, pray, it's pretty much what I control, what I can. And outside of that, it's happening. Everything is just come full circle, and it's just come together. It's just like when I take that piece of worrying out, it's all worked out. Mm-hmm.
Right. And, over the time as when I started my business, I was the infamous sharer. And then, I started like doing more like webinars where people can join, and I teach them about finances. But then I recognized, like, I don't want to teach someone how to budget. I want to do the budgeting for them.
Mindset too, and change the mindset of budget.
Yes, and help change their mindset, because you can budget all day, but if your mindset is not there, you're going to continuously be in that circle of being in debt. Mm-hmm. So.
And it's a lesson because I feel like they say you're not going back. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that feeling. So what can I not do to not go back to that feeling? Just be patient with yourself too. It's not a race.
Right.
I'm not completely out yet. It's still, we're still on track. Probably probably another year. But that would be saying, before I'm 40, that I'll be completely debt free with the exception of a mortgage, and that's a good feeling.
Right, right. And then, you have your faith increases every time you touch
Mhm.
something. You know that
And
not,
you can give more. It
yeah,
doesn't, like you can, you know, I can, and it'd be little things like, oh, so it's like, yeah, that's okay. It's okay because it all comes full circle. It's
that
just,
I'm so glad you said that. So that literally, that is why I started my business. So I realized that there was nobody out there doing what I wanted to do, which was when I first wanted to do, go into being the wealth sharer. And, there, yes, you can learn how to budget. But again, my thought is creating money plans and then also the mindset piece. But my goal is for people to, one, increase their faith in God and know that God has you. God wants you to be abundant. God wants you to be prosperous, you
that.
know. But also, one of the best parts of it is that you become more generous. So you're given, to more people than you would have. Because when you're in debt, you're like, I don't have anything to give.
I don't have nothing to give. I don't have nothing to give. I'm here trying to, see who can get something to me, let alone trying to give it to somebody else. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now you can give, and that's given whether it's, you helping out a friend or a family member, like you have the ability to give more and just be generous. And that is the piece that I love the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Tiana, thank you so much.
Harry.
All right.
Yep. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.